thank you so much for joining me here on Messy Girl Crafts. My name's Ashley. If you're new here, welcome in. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome home. Today I'm going to be working on my Blankety Bites mini set. This set comes with 20 canvases, and please be proud of me. I have been working on them, okay? I have been giving a lot of attention to my other WIP right now, which I'm probably going to finish tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna be finished tomorrow when you guys see this on Wednesday. Yes, it's Tuesday night, please don't judge me. It is 9 o'clock at night and we just put my baby down. If you hear white noise in the background, that's because I have my little baby monitor here and he has his sound machine on, but hopefully it's low enough that it doesn't mess with the audio. But yeah, if you hear white noise in the background, it's because I have my baby monitor and I'm staring at it while we're chatting. So anyway, this is the stack that I've already finished, and this is the stack that I still have to complete. I think I'm over halfway at this point. You don't realize how many, like, not that you don't know how to count to 20, but like you don't realize how many 20 minis are until you're doing them and you're like, oh, and there's another one and another one and another one. So going backwards in finishes, this is the most recent one I finished, and this is my WIP tonight, which is this cute little skate. But backwards, I have this one, which is like the fun jacket. We've got the skull with the glasses and the fun hair. We've got V.I.P. babe. It's like a backstage pass. There's the cool looking car, hot rod, if you will. Oops. There is my mix. It's like a vinyl. You've got this really cool lollipop and some lips. A microphone, a heart with flames, or sorry, a heart with wings. Flames, sorry, I'm tired. Then you've got mixtape magic. This one was really fun to do. Then you have a Tamagotchi pet. You have a boom box. This one was also super fun to do. You have a Game Boy and a rock on hand. That's yellow, kind of like the emojis. So those are all of the ones that I've done so far. And again, that was going in backwards order of finishes. So the rock hand was actually the first one I did. And then this like fun jacket was the most recent one I finished. I still have to do this really cool boot. I have to do the pair of heart-shaped sunglasses. I have to do the flip phone. I have to do the Walkman. I have to do the Rubik's Cube. And I have to do the guitar. And so, let me see, what did I just do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 left after I finish the roller skate. So that's actually really good. I really have only been working on this particular set when I pump. I told you guys this last week. I pump at 6 a.m. and I pump at 11 p.m. And so whenever I'm pumping for those 30 minutes, I'm working on these. And so typically I finish one a day because in the morning I start it for 30 minutes and then in the afternoon or in the late evening I finish it after the other 30 minutes. They typically take about an hour a piece to finish. I have been single placing a lot of them because this was like the very first run Blankety Bites ever did of this particular set of minis. And so there are some things that the owner had mentioned to me that are already in works to be improved. Like the grid field is going to get a little bit tighter. But you won't see like the blue lines and the fraying on the edges of the canvas in the newer prints of this set. And she's already working on new art designs and stuff like that. Although I really do love the render of these. I think the render is impeccable. And I think that the colors are super vibrant, and I love that it comes with 20, because if you're somebody who is on a budget and really can't afford like super large diamond paintings or buying from like a bunch of different places, to get one set of canvases that there's 20 canvases in there, that's going to last you a decent amount of time. So I think that that's really cool and unique. I think that the drills could probably use a little bit of upgrading. I do have a lot of trash, but I haven't run out of a color yet. So I'm not really bothered by trash drills. As long as I can complete the project, it doesn't really make a difference to me. But while I'm working on the canvas, the glue tends to be a little bit slippery, and so I have to be careful about my glue dots, making sure they're nice and dirty so I can actually place the drill and I don't pick it up with my glue dot. And then also when the project is finished, like when I finish with one, there actually is a decent amount of gapping. But what I do, and this is like a hot tip for any of you guys that experience gapping with any canvas, if you have gapping, I know there's straighteners out there that you can use to straighten your drills, but what I personally like to do is I just like to roll it gently like this. When you roll it like this, I feel like it just makes the edges meet up together. You see, I'm just like gently rolling it. It's just pushing all the drills together. I do it in one direction and then I do it in the other direction. Now, sometimes if you do it a little too aggressively, you might have popping drills, but if you just like lightly roll it like that, it really just makes the drills meet up next to each other super nicely. I promise you, this did not look this tight when I started. And maybe, I'm not going to promise anything. I don't think I'll get this done in tonight's whip and chat, just because I know I have so much to talk about and I'm going to get so distracted. I'll probably stop ending up like working on it. But if I finish it, I'll show you what I mean. And you can do that even if it's a partial and the whole thing isn't diamond painted or whatever. So let's get started with our first color. There's a lot of pink on this, so I'm going to do... Oh, I have my bags just scattered here. It's seriously just, again, I only work on these an hour a day. And then downstairs in my dining area, on my dining room table, that's where I have my Star Spirit by Jamushka with Diamond Art Club. That's where I have my larger whip going. And it has been so nice. I hate that it took me like 2 months to figure it out and get into like a rhythm. But I'm finally at a place where when Eli naps during the day, I'm diamond painting, and it's so nice. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I'm doing dishes or laundry, or sometimes I'm napping too, because even though he's like the easiest baby in the whole world, I am so tired. I feel like it's just like when you live your life going a million miles an hour for so many years and then you finally have a baby, it just slows you down in a way where your body starts to feel the impact of like just years of hustling, honestly. Like, and maybe I'm being dramatic, but I don't know. I just feel like, I'm like, why am I so tired? And I forgot who said it to me. It might have been my mom, but somebody had said to me, like, because I was saying that, I was like, I'm so tired, but he's such an easy baby. Like, I don't understand why I'm so tired. It's not like he's running me ragged. It's like the mental weight of being a mom. Nobody like really talks about the mental weight of like, keep the tiny human alive. What is he doing? Is he breathing? Is he doing this? Is he napping? Is he in the right position? It's just like there's a lot of things going through your mind as a mom that like are subconscious. Like you're not actually getting up and running around. Sometimes you are, but like it's a mental strain. Like it's just like it's an adjustment on your mental game to constantly be thinking about keeping another human being like perfectly content and happy, alive, fed, entertained, comfortable, whatever. Like it's just like it's just a subconscious thing now that's always happening underneath the surface, and you don't even realize it. And so sometimes like you're so tired because you're just like mentally exhausted, and I'm like, that could be true, honestly. But I've also just been like dreading the idea that April is almost over, because May is my last month of like full maternity leave, and then I start going back to work part-time in June, and I don't want to. If I had the financial ability to be a housewife and a stay-at-home mom, I would do that in a heartbeat. Because it is in my opinion the best job that there ever is or was, and I love being a mom, and I've had such an incredible time these last 3 months. Actually, when you guys see this on Wednesday, he will officially be 3 months old, which is like so amazing that I have a 3-month-old, but also it's like time is flying, and he's already so big and expressive, and he's so silly, and he has such a great personality, and it's like eating me up inside that like, because I've been with him every single day of his life leading up to today, like, and up to when I have to go back to work. I've seen the subtle changes in him, and like when he learns a new skill, or when he discover something for the first time, or when he laughs, like I've been there for every single one of those moments, and because I am taking care of him all day every day. And so like I'm just really like mentally struggling with the idea of like missing stuff. And I know, so I've said this a million times, so many parents out there have to go back to work much sooner than I did, and also have to deal with the heartbreak of like potentially missing some things, or having to have either a family member or a caregiver or a daycare, someone else has to take care of their baby and might get to have those moments with them. But you know, I just got to look past that, unfortunately, at this time. But it is a mental struggle for sure, because I've just enjoyed being with him so much, and it's like my favorite job in the entire world, being a mom. So yeah, we'll see. As we get closer to June, just like please like check on me, because I will be mentally unwell. But I'm gonna push through it. So, but Eli's amazing as always. Although we've had some trial and error over the last week. I'm not going to lie to you. I always have to keep it 100 on this channel, and I'm an honest human being. I would never lie to you guys. I am not perfect, okay? I am a first-time mom. I'm figuring it out. Have I done a lot of research? Yes, I have. But also, you know, your baby is going to tell you what they will and will not tolerate, and that is just life. That is how it goes, and I'm trying to give myself some grace in that. But let me tell you what, I have been humbled a few times this week. I think I told you guys last week that Eli's bedtime is kind of shifted, which is why it's like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, and he's already like fast asleep in bed. After we came home from Easter, he basically decided like 7:30 you need to start my nighttime routine, and I want to be in bed by like 8:30, or I will scream and cry and be fussy and angry. So we've adjusted to that and whatever. But once we started picking up on the fact that he wanted an earlier bedtime, we also, Eric and I were discussing like changing up his feeding timing a little bit, or like basically I was like, he's so tired, and when we give him his midnight bottle, midnight is when Eric and I go to bed, so it's really no skin off our back to give him a bottle at like 11:30, because that's usually when we are coming to bed. We give him a bottle, and then he goes right back to sleep, and then we go to sleep. So it's not like giving him a midnight bottle for a long time will interrupt our flow. But we were just wondering, like, would he sleep through from 8:30 to 6 a.m. because he already sleeps from 8:30 to midnight when we wake him up, and then midnight to 6 a.m. So I'm like, does he, maybe if we increase the amount of ounces he was getting during the day from 4 ounces every 3 hours to 5 ounces, we could make up that missing midnight bottle, and then he could sleep like all the way through, and we wouldn't have to wake him up in the middle of the night at midnight. And so we tried it on Friday and it failed miserably. Last Friday, we were like, okay, we're gonna give him 5 ounces starting at 6 a.m. and we're gonna just do that until, you know, in our minds, we were like, okay, we're gonna give him 5 ounces like at 6 a.m. and then we're gonna give him 5 ounces at 9 a.m. and 12 and 3 and 6 and 8:30 or whatever, that bedtime bottle, and then just not wake him up, let him sleep, whatever. Well, that did not work out, because we gave him the 6 a.m. bottle. He took those 5 ounces, no problem. Eric worked from home that day on that last Friday. And so I had given him his 6 a.m. bottle. He went back to sleep. I woke him up for the day at 9 a.m., brought him downstairs. Eric was already working at the dining room table. And I fed him his 9 a.m. bottle. He took it like a champ. It was 5 ounces. And then we burped him, and normally what happens is, like, after I give him his bottle, I burp him, let his tummy settle, and then we go play for about an hour, and then he goes down for a nap. That's like his circular routine, right? So I'm just doing what we always do. I fed, the only difference is that the bottle is 5 ounces and not 4. And to be fair to him, like, he always takes his 9 a.m. bottle slow. We might actually be eliminating it pretty soon, because I think from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. all he does is sleep. Like, he goes right back down to sleep. He doesn't like play. He's not expelling any of that energy, and his stomach is digesting a lot slower because he's sleeping. So that 9 a.m. bottle being 4 ounces or 5 ounces or anything, it's like he's like not hungry for it because he hasn't expelled any of the energy to work up the hunger again. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, again, I'm learning that there's no rule book on your specific baby. So unfortunately, it's a lot of trial and error, which I feel bad about, because then, you know, you find out the hard way a lot of times that that's not working. So anyway, give him the 9 a.m. bottle, 5 ounces. He drinks it all slowly, but he drinks it all. And then we burp him. Sometimes he burps and sometimes he doesn't. And the doctor said that that's normal, but we always just give our good effort to try to burp him so he doesn't have any gas trapped in him. We've been doing the probiotic with him, which his gastro recommended when we saw him 2 weeks ago, and it's been going amazing. We don't give him the Mylicon anymore. We just do a couple drops of a probiotic in his morning bottle at 9 a.m. and he takes it like a champ in his bottle, and then he's pretty good for the rest of the day. He's regular. He's not fussy or gassy. Like, he's not straining anymore. So that has actually been going great. But so I put him down in his new big playpen that we got him that has like a squishy floor and like lots of space to like play and eventually crawl and stuff. I wanted him to have like a nice big space that was squishy floor to crawl around when he starts to crawl. He's not even doing that yet. He's not even rolling over on his own unassisted yet. But eventually I want him to be able to feel like he can crawl around. And our floor is tile downstairs, and so that wouldn't feel very good on his knees and stuff. So I wanted to get like a big 50 by 50 inch playpen from Amazon, so that way I could keep him in there, and I get in there with him. It's that big. Like, I can get in there and I play with him in there, but it's got that big squishy floor mat and he can do whatever he wants, throw his toys around. We don't let the cats in there, so it's like not like covered in cat hair. So it's nice. We put him in there, and he's always the most goofy, fun, and smiley in the mornings. Like, I'm like, I don't know who you got that from, that you're a morning person, because there's only one morning person in our family, and it's Eric's stepdad. I'm like, I don't know how you got that trait, because all of us are night owls, but he is not a night owl. He is, again, fully asleep in bed right now. He is a morning person currently. That could change when he gets older. But so he's like kicking and playing and having a grand old time, and like, again, he's been kicking his feet like a lot. He's like kicking, and he was laying down face up, and I think that he was just kicking so much, and there was just so much motion and activity that he ended up spitting up. And I was like, ooh, and he had spit up, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Eric, he spit up. And then as Eric was coming over from the dining room table to like help me clean him up, because this spit up is like when they're just like bleh, and it's just like a little bit. But then when Eric finally made it over to like when him and I were like sitting in the play area, he threw up, and it was all milk, right? And I'm just like, gosh darn it, like, oh, poor baby. And this is not the first time he's thrown up like that. Usually it's something we did, like we moved him too fast, or we bent his belly weird, or whatever, we turned him in a way that he wasn't ready for. So this is not our first experience dealing with him throwing up like that, but like, it's never fun, number one. And number two, like, you feel bad for your baby. You're like, my poor baby. And Eli, you guys can tell me if this is normal or not. When Eli throws up, he doesn't cry. He's not like pissed off, crying, like scared. He just does it, and then he's like, okay, I want to keep playing. And we're like, no, like, no. You have to now be wiped down and whatever. So I pick, after he's like thrown up all over his outfit, I basically strip him down to just his diaper in the playpen. I give him to Eric. Eric takes him to the changing table, like wipes him all down with wipes. It got in his hair. It was all over his chest. Like, and again, he's giggling at this point because he feels much better. He was having fun playing in his playpen too. Like, it wasn't like he was fussing and suffering before. It's like we had no idea he just threw up and whatever. So we were like, oh, poor baby. But he was laughing and giggling with Eric while he was getting changed and given a wet wipe shower on the changing table. I brought down a new outfit for him. Actually, we had a spare outfit for just such an occasion underneath the changing table. So Eric changed his outfit, changed his diaper just because it was a new diaper, whatever. And then I took, luckily because it's like a playpen meant for things like that happening, I was easily able to strip the top coat. The squishy floor mat is actually plastic, and there's just like a big fuzzy sheet over it. So I just took the sheet off, took his play mat. It's all washable. I took it upstairs with his clothes and my clothes because I was in the splash zone. So I took all of that upstairs and I threw it into the washer, and everything was fine, right? Everything's fine. He feels better. And I had said to Eric, I was like, at first I thought I didn't attribute the throwing up to the 5 ounces thing. I attributed it to he didn't burp for me, and then we put him on the floor and he was like kicking and kicking and kicking, and his stomach was like rumbling and rolling, and he threw up because he was like being super active. That's what I had thought it was originally. I was wrong. It was the fact that we were basically overfeeding him, I think is what happened, because then later on, Eric had finished working for the day. It was after 4:30, and on Fridays he goes to the gym with our friends. Eventually I will be going to the gym as well with our friends again, but for now it's just Eric going. And so Eric was like, well, I had said to Eric, I was like, I think we should like bathe him because he threw up on himself, and he's probably like, we should probably bathe him. And he's like, yeah, but I'm gonna be gone while you do his nighttime routine. And I was like, okay. And he's like, and I did wipe him down and stuff. I was like, yeah, but his hair is like crusty and weird. I was like, whatever. So Eric was like, just do what you want, but like just be careful, because he didn't want me to have to bathe him by myself, because like normally, like if I'm bathing him, I'm in the bath with him, and then Eric is like bringing me his towel, bringing me his stuff, like he's going in and out of the bathroom like bringing me stuff. So we had never really done it with where just like one person does the entire nighttime routine by themselves, because like normally, like if I'm feeding Eli the bottle, Eric will be reading him a book, a bedtime story, or vice versa. Like we have a whole routine, and it takes the both of us to do it normally. So he was like, I'm gonna go to the gym, we'll give him a bath tomorrow, whatever. And I was like, okay, fine. So Eric leaves. He leaves for the gym around like 7:30. And so Eli is pretty much ready for bed almost immediately after Eric leaves, because again, at 7:30 is when he wants to start his nighttime routine, and then he wants to be in bed asleep by 8:30. That's like his new routine. That's what he wants. And so I oblige. I take him upstairs. I change his diaper. I put him in PJs. And I obviously was not able to read him a book while I was feeding him, so I thought it would be easier to ask Google to read a bedtime story. I was like, hey Google, can you read us a story, a bedtime story? She makes up this like crazy weird story about a Google assistant that was alone and nobody liked her, and I was like, Eli, this is weird. And he was like, yeah, no, it's totally weird. so I was like, well, that was a fail. So I feed Eli his bottle. Again, still a 5-ounce bottle. I haven't changed the ounces, even though he threw up earlier in the day, because in my mind, he threw up because he was kicking and playing and upset his own stomach, not because of the amount of the food. So I feed him his 5-ounce bottle, and he drinks the whole thing again. And I let his tummy settle for like a minute, and then I go to like move him so I can burp him. And I'm not someone who typically burps over the shoulder. Like I don't throw Eli over my shoulder and then pat his back. The way I was always taught to burp a baby when my best friend had twins was to put your hand on their chest and like hold their chin like this in like in this part of your hand, and like use most of their weight is sitting on most of their weight is in their chest, sitting on your hand like this, and then you're holding up their chin, and then you're gently patting their back while they're sitting on your leg facing like sideways, so you can see their nose, mouth, their back, everything, whatever. So I go to bend Eli over to put him in this position so I can start like patting his back. He makes that weird face that like pretty much guarantees something is about to get like come out of his mouth. Like, like when babies make that face and you're like, oh, you're about to throw up. He makes this weird face and then immediately just throws up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you poor baby, whatever. So I'm like, meanwhile, he had just finished a 5-ounce bottle. So there was a lot, not to be graphic. But, and again, it's just milk, no crazy weird color, no weird consistency. It's literally him throwing up the bottle he just had. So he spits up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, well, now you're definitely getting a bath. Like, I don't care what Eric says, you're getting a bath tonight, because this is the second time you've thrown up on yourself, and I will not stand for you going to bed this way. So I'm like, okay, well, you're gonna get a bath. So as I stand up and walk towards our master bathroom to like go get him in the tub so I can clean up the mess, he throws up again, but I hadn't gotten the bathroom door all the way open yet. So he threw up onto the bathroom door, and then it splatted in front of, like, down into the bathroom, half in the bathroom, half in our bedroom. And I was like, holy cow, this poor kid. Again, the whole time, not crying, not fussing, just looking at me like, is it over? And I'm like, I don't know, is it over? So I'm like, holy cow. So I strip him of his pajamas, second outfit change of the day. I strip him out of his pajamas, or I should say third, I guess. I once again am covered in vomit, or whatever, milk, milk vomit. And so I have one of those angel care bath seats for the baby. It's like one where they like lean back, and then there's like a little bottom so they can't slip and slide, and it's got rubber base. So I just strip him out of his pajama and I just leave him in his little angel care bath seat. The water isn't on yet or anything. I just let him sit there with just his diaper on, and I was like, you don't move. I'm gonna go run and clean everything up. You stay there. And so he's just like, to his credit, he just sat there and was looking around, checking out the bathroom, giggling, gurgling. I'm like, this freaking kid. Like, I was like, what is happening right now? Like, he was just contently sitting in his little bath chair just waiting for me to like turn on the bath water and do whatever. So I'm like, thank God he has such a good temperament, because I genuinely in that moment felt like I had failed him as a mom. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I felt so bad. I'm like, he threw up twice in the same day, and it took me until that moment to realize like he's clearly not ready to be eating 5 ounces at every feeding. And why am I trying to make him not get a midnight bottle when it's so easy for us to give that to him because it's right before we go to bed? And I was just like, I'm at the point now where I'm able to give myself grace about that moment. And I'm like, listen, like, and Eric always is like, you know, you're a great mom. It was, we're figuring it out, whatever. But I was like really upset in that moment. And I was like, I just felt like I was hurting my baby. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I made him feel sick and I wasn't paying attention to his cues. And he threw up earlier in the day, and I should have known that that's what it was, but I didn't. And then I overfed him again, and then he threw up again. And it's like, so now I'm like, nope, we're putting him back on his schedule. Meanwhile, Eric is still at the gym. I do not call him because I'm like, I can do this by myself. It's my fault that I didn't pick up on the cues earlier. Let him enjoy his night with our friends and work out, whatever. And when he comes home, I'll tell him the whole story. I would have absolutely called Eric if like something more concerning had happened. Like if the color of the milk was weird, if he had started like profusely crying, like he was in pain. If anything got the hair on my neck up, I would have immediately been like, Eric, come home, I need you, he's XYZ, blah blah blah. But that did not happen. He literally was sitting in his bath chair looking around and like smiling at himself while I cleaned up everything. And I had to like clean up the bedroom floor. He had gotten, because he was facing away from the master bed, luckily he didn't like throw up all over our bed, but it did drip down the side of the sheet a little bit. So I had to take all the sheets off the bed, put those in the washer, took all my clothes off, put that in the washer, all of his clothes, put them like on their own cycle because he has special like, you know, detergent or whatever. And I was just doing laundry, mopping up the floor from all the like spit up and stuff. And then finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this baby a bath. So I went in there, I just took off his diaper, threw it in the trash can in the bathroom. I was like, I do not care, I just need to get this baby clean. The poor guy has thrown up on himself twice today. Also felt guilty about that. I was like, I should have just given him a bath earlier today. But then I was like, well, I guess it was good I didn't, because I ended up having to bathe him because of this time anyway. So I give him a bath and he's having the time of his life. He's giggling, splashing, enjoying the water. That made me feel a lot better just to see him happy, because I was like, he's not suffering, Ashley. He's fine. Babies throw up. Like, it doesn't mean you're a bad mom because your baby threw up. Like, but I just felt bad because I felt like he's not throwing up because he's sick. He's throwing up because I made a choice that made him throw up. Do you know what I mean? And I was just feeling upset about that. So I was in my feelings about it, but I feel better about it now, and you know, whatever. But so I give him a bath, put him in new PJs, new diaper, the whole 9 yards, put him in bed. He goes to sleep. So basically he kind of didn't get that bottle because he threw it back up. But when Eric got home from the gym, I told him everything that had happened, and he was like, why didn't you call me? You know, he was like, I would have came home. And I said the same thing to him. I was like, not that I don't need you, but like, I didn't need you. He wasn't in pain. He wasn't suffering. It wasn't it wasn't like a weird color, whatever. It was also one of those things where I kind of wanted to see if I could do it myself. Like, I was kind of like, not that like Eric won't always be there to support me, but like sometimes you're alone with your baby and you need to know that like you can do it. And it also, I think, just made me feel better because, like, I felt like I was the reason that he did throw up. So I was like, I need to be the one to, like, I don't need to, like, call Eric because I can't do it alone. Like, I need to prove to myself that, like, I can take care of my own kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just, like, a weird mental thing for me. And Eric was like, okay, well, he looks super happy and in bed and asleep. And I was like, yep, he's just like this, like, perfectly fine. And he's tired. Obviously, he had an eventful evening, so he slept. And he woke up on Saturday perfectly fine, and we did his routine back to every 4 ounces every 3 hours, and he didn't throw up again, and he was perfectly fine, which was great. On Saturday, he did throw up today, but we'll get to that story. I just can't escape it. Oh, I dropped a drill. Oh well, I'll vacuum later. So that was Friday. Crazy night. Backing up to Thursday, though, the day beforehand, my mom had come over that day to hang out with me and Eli, and also I was dying to go to the grand opening of the Whataburger that's opening up near me. So Whataburger, the first time I ever had Whataburger was in Texas. I was there by myself on like a work trip, like a work conference. And I had it, and it was like the best fast food burger I had ever had. And I only had it like once in my life. And I was like so happy. Excuse me. I was so happy when I found out that it was coming to my area. And so I had been like stalking our community Facebook page to see when it was coming and doing its grand opening. And it happened to be last Thursday. So I was like, oh, we're going. So I told my mom, I was like, you need to be here by 9 a.m. because they're opening up at 11 a.m. and we are going to do the thing and it's going to be great. And she's like, okay. I was hoping to be one of the first 20 cars in the drive-thru because they were giving away swag, but unfortunately, we were not one of the first 20 cars. We weren't, like, when we got in the line, there was definitely a big line, but it wasn't like we were at the end of the line, if that makes sense. Like, we had gotten there, it opened at 11, we got there around 10:15. Obviously, because Eli comes first, we had to do his whole morning routine. We gave him his bottle, played with him a little bit, then packed him up in the car, hoping that he would nap the whole time that we were in the car getting the food, and then we would be home by noon to then give him his next bottle. But I packed a bottle just in case, and I'm glad I did because my mom and I ended up having, because it was so funny. Well, not funny, it was ironic. Eli did sleep in the car the whole time. So we got there around like 10:15. Eli was asleep. I even pumped in the car while we were waiting for them to open. I pumped in the car. I brought a cooler. I brought Eli's bottle. It was in the cooler with my milk that I had pumped in the car, whatever. And then no sooner than the clock struck 11 and like they opened up the restaurant and cars started to like go through the drive-thru. Obviously it's the grand opening, so everything is super slow. Eli wakes up and starts to cry because Eli doesn't like when he is strapped in his car seat and not moving. He does not like that. He does not like it when we hit red lights. He does not like it when we go slow. He is a speed demon and he wants to go fast and he likes to feel movement if he's in his car seat. He will sleep in his car seat though. Like when we went down to South Florida to go visit family for Easter, he slept like an angel the whole car ride, and that we did two-hour stints and we broke in the middle so we could feed him and change his diaper and whatever. But he did great on that car trip because we were constantly moving on the highway. But like if he wakes up from a nap and you're just like sitting still in the car, he gets super upset and cries, whatever. So Eli wakes up at 11 o'clock on the dot, starts to cry, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And so again, we were pretty far back in the line. We definitely weren't the first 20 cars and they were going slow and stuff. So I was just like, okay, like, you know, here we go. So because we were in line, I was like, Mom, why don't you hop out of the car and get in the back seat just so he's like interacting with you and he's not just back there by himself. Also, it is like 1,000,000 degrees outside on this day. And unfortunately in my car, I drive a Nissan Rogue, and there is a backseat air conditioner, but it's like the one that's like in the center console that like shoots out to the two seats like near your knees. We don't have the circle over the head vents. So he is like, poor baby, he's constantly sweating back there. And Eric bought 2 fans from Home Depot that we use that take Ryobi rechargeable batteries that we have for his stroller, and we had one of them in the back seat with him on, but obviously it's just a fan, so it's not blowing cold air, it's just circulating air. Like, it's a fan, it doesn't have Freon in it. So, like, it helps put, like, some wind on him to get him to cool down. But he's strapped in this, like, newborn car seat, and it's, like, 1,000,000 degrees outside. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So then it was, like, 11:45, and we still hadn't gotten super close to, like, the window yet. And so I said, Mom, like, I brought his bottle. Should we just feed him? And she was like, yeah, let's just try. So I brought the bottle warmer with me. I have, like, a travel bottle warmer. And so I heated up his bottle. We were at, like, a standstill, so it wasn't like I was, like, doing this while driving. Like, we were literally sitting. I had the car in park while we were waiting for every, like, 5 minutes. I'd, like, scoot the car up and then put it in park again. So I heated up the bottle, gave it to my mom. My mom, God bless her, is still learning Eli's ways, you know, how he likes to be fed, how he likes to be burped, how he likes to be held, how he likes to play. Like, she's still figuring it all out too. And eventually she's going to know him as good as I do, because she's going to be, like, his full-time caregiver when I go back to work. But right now she's still, like, sees him once a week and is still trying to figure him out. So she's trying to feed him. He's mad. He's screaming. He won't take the bottle. I'm trying to help her feed him from the front seat. I'm, like, panicking because he's upset. But my mom's like, let me just hold him. He'll be fine. So finally she gets him to calm down. He ended up drinking, like, 2 of the 4 ounces. Because this was the day before we thought we were going to up him to 5 ounces. And so he had drank, like, half his bottle. And then he, like, kind of fell asleep on my mom. Like, while she was, like, holding him over her shoulder. And I was like, all right, Mom, you just stay in the back seat with him. I'll put your order in. Like, when we get to the window, I'll do your order. And then we'll pull over, like, after, because she took him out of the car seat, obviously, when she was in the back seat, just to, like, hold him and feed him and stuff. So I was like, once I get our food, I'll pull over into, like, a shady parking spot, and, like, I'll re-strap him. We'll try to get him to finish his bottle. I'll re-put him in his car seat, and we'll go straight home. That way I can change his diaper and do whatever. And she's like, okay. So we get up to the window, we order our food, we find out we're not the first 20 cars, which we kind of already knew, but, like, we were, like, bummed out because the bags they were giving away looked so cool. And then, yeah, we got our food and left. Oh, that drill is so messed up. Sorry. I just realized I placed a trash drill that was, like, super messed up. It has, like, a whole chunk missing. What am I using right now? Am I using H? Yeah, that was O. That was from the first color. Where did I put O? Oh, for here. So I got our food and I pulled over, and it's like a bajillion degrees out on this day. So there is literally not a shady parking spot to be found. I cannot find shade anywhere in the state of Florida at this time. So I'm struggling to find a shady parking spot, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pull over here behind this building, and I picked it because there was no people around, and I was like, well, if I have to change his diaper or something, like, I don't want to be, like, in a crowd. Do you know what I mean? Because I would do it. I've changed his diaper in the trunk of my car before, but I just don't like to do it when there's, like, 1,000,000 people standing around. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I pulled into this parking spot behind a different restaurant that was nearby, and I was like, see if he'll take the rest of his bottle. And he was asleep. So my mom was like, are you serious? I was like, yes. I was like, first of all, I'm not driving home with him in your arms. Neither of you are seatbelted. Like, if you think I'm that careless, you're crazy. No. I'm not taking either of your lives in my hands like that. So no, please give me my child and I will buckle him up. But she did try to feed him first, and he was still kind of, like, not having it because he was hot and tired, whatever. So he stayed asleep, basically, and I took him out of my mom's arms. I buckled him into his car seat. My mom came back up into the front seat with me, and we went back to the house. It only took us, like, 15 minutes to get there. He stayed asleep the whole time that we were in the car. I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but it's really funny. Eli loves Phil Collins. I wish I could play you this video I have, but I can't because obviously the music is copywritten. It's Phil Collins. But I have this video on my phone that I took of the car camera. Like, you know how you have the backseat camera so you can see the baby's face? We have this camera, and I was filming the camera looking at Eli because he was upset that the car kept stopping and going, because every time Eric drives, he hits every red light when Eli's in the car. It's like a curse. And so Eli cries every time we hit a red light, and then he goes, and then Eli stops crying, and then but eventually he just keeps crying because he's upset, because he's worked up or whatever. So Eric and I were going somewhere, and I think it was my birthday dinner with our friends. We were going to go have birthday dinner, and Eric was like getting a bunch of downtown lights, and so Eli was crying, fussing, whatever. And so Phil Collins came on, and he loves listening to Phil Collins. It was the song In the Air Tonight with the epic drum solo. Eli was all about it. He was just staring out the window, thinking about his feelings, and I don't even know what, but it was just the cutest thing. And so now every time Eli gets like really turned up in the car, we play Phil Collins, and he tends to calm down, which I genuinely think is like the cutest, funniest thing ever. So shout out to Phil Collins for making my baby feel better. But yeah, so that was fun. But yeah, so we got to the house, my mom and I, and I was so hungry, because anytime right after I pump, I'm starving. Like I'm hungry on a regular basis because I'm pumping, but like I'm the hungriest right after I pump. So I was starving. So I genuinely ate all of my fries and my burger on the way back to the house. And then when we got back to the house, I just had my soft drink, and we got milkshakes because they had milkshakes and we wanted to try them. So I was like, this works out though, because now I've already eaten. When we get inside, I can make sure that I take care of Eli while my mom eats, and then, we'll go back into the routine of like him taking a nap, him playing, whatever. So the rest of the rest of Thursday was fine. Excuse me. Oh, but again, he did get a little fussy, but again, it was like 90 something degrees outside. We were in a hot car. There was really no cold air blowing directly onto him. He was trapped in like a warm car seat. He had a blanket, which we did take off of him, but like it was a lot. It was a lot. So needless to say, I have been blessed with like the sweetest, most even-tempered baby boy in the whole wide world, and I don't know what I did to get so lucky, because I thank God every day that he puts up with my shenanigans, because genuinely, I have seen other babies in public, and they just don't seem to do as well with those types of antics. So to be fair though, I have been trying to get him used to like being out and about. I don't want him to be like a household shut-in. I want him to be able to be fed in public in weird places. I want him to be able to be comfortable with like water and people and loud noises and what, like I've tried to expose him gently to like outside environments, so that way when we're running around with him, he is adaptable to those scenarios where it's like, oh, we got to change your diaper in the trunk of the car. Oh, we got to feed you a bottle sitting in the car seat, or you know what I mean? Or like us sitting in our car seat, you know what I mean? So he's actually been very good about that. And like, he's pretty easily adaptable to those types of scenarios. He just, he has certain triggers. Like he does not like to be hot, which same, I do not like to be overheated. And he, just don't overfeed him, because he will let you know that he was not ready for that. Which it's kind of funny to me, because he did drink the bottle. It's not like he was like pursing his lips and like spitting the bottle out at me, and then I was like shoving it back in his mouth. He drank the bottle. His body just couldn't handle it. His mouth could handle it. His brain was like, yes, I want this, but his body was like, you are not ready for this yet, sir. So I guess we both got duped in that scenario. But that was Thursday and Friday. Then Saturday, we had a pretty chill morning. Again, I wanted to kind of take it slow after everything that had happened on Friday, and he had an eventful Thursday as well, waiting in line for the Whataburger place, which the food was delicious, by the way, and I will be going back. They also have breakfast. So one of the shticks with Whataburger is they're open 24 hours, and we don't really have a lot of 24-hour things around us, so that's really cool that they're open 24 hours. And they do breakfast from like 11 p.m. to 11 a.m., which is awesome, because they have like chicken biscuits and sausage biscuits. And Eric and I did breakfast there one morning, and it was really good. So we will definitely be back. But yeah, the first time was eventful for us and for Eli. Are there any more H's? I'm actually burning through this a lot faster than I thought I would, which is good for all of us. So, yeah, I'm wondering if I'm going to finish this whip and chat before I have to pump at 11. I'm going to try to. We have, it's 9:43 right now, so I'll do my best to try to wrap it up before it turns 11 p.m. so that way I can keep myself on schedule. All I want to do is talk to you guys, though. I'm like the worst. I straight up will silence that alarm, but I need to pump because, yeah, it doesn't feel good when it goes too long. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, Saturday, we kind of took it slow in the morning, but then we hung out with our friends that evening, and it was kind of like a test, honestly, to see, because again, Eli's on this new schedule where he goes to bed pretty early, and our friends tend to like to do stuff late. And not unfortunately, but they're the ones that have the twins, and so they have 2 7-year-olds, and the twins do have autism, so again, they're very routine, and they need to stay on their schedule, and now Eli has his schedule, and so it's just hard, because it's like, both, like, Eli and the twins both have bedtimes around the same time as each other now. But, like, it's not really fair for either of them to have to go to bed in not their homes. Do you know what I mean? So it's, like, hard for us, because it's like, okay, well, if we want to hang out, we have to hang out before, like, 8 o'clock, and then everyone has to go home to get their kids in bed. But then when we're home and our kids are in bed, we can't come over to each other's houses anymore because our kids are in their beds and whatever. So I haven't gotten a chance to do it yet, but I plan to have a conversation with my best friend and just be like, hey girl, like we need to either pick like one weekend a month where like you get a babysitter because their grandmother, well, not like a babysitter, like their grandmother comes over, and like then you come to my house and he's asleep like this upstairs while we're downstairs hanging out, or we just go back to playing a lot of video games together, because that's what we used to do. Like when they lived in Fort Myers and we lived in Tampa, like we would play video games every single night together. They would put down their babies, they would have their monitor on, and we would just stay up and play video games and have a grand old time. And we haven't done that in a long time, because now that they live much closer to us, we see them every week. We like actually physically see them. So what it might have to be is that, like, even though they live close, like, we can still go out to dinner on Saturdays together. Like, we can still go out to dinner around like 6 o'clock. Like, I'll give him his bottle at 6. He'll pass out in the car seat after his bottle. We'll go have dinner. We'll come home, and then each of us will respectively do our nighttime routines with our kids, and then get online and hang out together that way. That could totally be a thing. It just is hard, because when you know someone lives close, like, and you go home to your respective houses to get online together, it's like you would much rather be with each other in person. And I don't want to lose that, like, connection with my friends because we had a kid, whatever. And when they had the twins, Eric and I were very much like participant with the kids. Like, we were like around, we helped we babysat for them a couple times overnight. We would come over to their house and help with like bedtime routines and when they got sick and whatever. So we were very much in the trenches with them when they had their kids. But now their kids are older, and, you know, Eli's brand new, and we're not really the type that ask for help, to be honest. Like, we don't really, I don't want to say we don't need help, but we don't tend to ask for it because we just don't. Eric and I are the partners that we need each other to be, and so, like, as long as the two of us are together, like, we genuinely have it down the way we want it to be. But I don't want to not see my friends, and so I'm trying to, you know, play it so I could have my cake and eat it too a little bit, but it's going to take some adjusting for everybody to be accommodating since we have the baby. You know, I'm hoping that when I talk to her about it, she'll be really open to that. And honestly, I think it'll do a lot of good for her too, because I think that her kids are now getting into that stage where it's like they're not like they're kids now. Like, they're 7. They're going to be 8 soon in October. And, you know, I just think that like maybe like they need a mommy and daddy break every once in a while and need their Saturday night back every once in a while. Not every single weekend, obviously, but just like maybe, like I said, if we planned like one weekend a month where we like did it right and did it big and had a good time and just like had a kid free night, I think that would be great for everybody. Our kid would just be upstairs sleeping, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I have to talk to her about that and see how she feels about it. Because she had brought up to me that she was looking into getting a babysitter for a couple nights a month. And so I don't know where she landed on that, but I need to follow up with her and be like, so I really want that for you because of this. And so we'll see where we land, but I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes. But yeah, we went over to their house on Saturday. We went to go to a card shop. We picked up some more Pokemon stuff, and we then went to dinner at Red Robin, which was delicious. And then after Red Robin, we ran over to Menchie's, which is frozen yogurt, which is also delicious. And we took it to go back to their house. And so Eric and I were kind of experimenting with Eli to see how he would do with his bedtime happening at someone else's house. Like, would he be able to fall asleep just like cuddled up on the couch and sleep, and then us go home and then do his midnight bottle at the house? Like, we weren't sure how that would work out. It did not. He was very good. Like, Eli literally did not start to complain until 8:30. And we had given him all of his bottles on time. Like, we gave him a bottle at 6. We had changed his diaper. We had done all the things, whatever. But once it hit 8:30, he's like, Mommy, Daddy, take me home and put me to bed. Like, I'm ready to go home and I want to go to bed. I'm not going to bed here. And we were like, okay, say less. So we literally, like, we were in the middle of hanging out with our friends, but we packed up all of our stuff. Eli was crying. We got him to calm down, and we put him in the car, and we went home. Luckily, our friends live like 10 minutes away from us, so it's not like we had a long journey home. But literally, the moment I was like, this kid is so ridiculous. We got into the car, he immediately stops crying and passes out. I'm like, you couldn't have just fallen asleep, like, sitting on the couch with us? Like I had him, like, I had like a blanket laid down. I had him laying down on the couch. Like, he was in kind of like a shaded corner, so like the lights weren't in his eyes, like, but he was not having it. But the moment he got into his car seat and he knew he was going home, he instantly was like put at ease, and he passed out, and he was a happy little clam. We got home, we finished his nighttime routine. He was happy and smiley the whole time, and he went to bed. I'm like, you know what? I can't say boo about it, because at least he's telling us what he wants. Like, he very clearly, obviously he can't talk. Obviously, he's 3 months old. But like, he's very much easy to understand and interpret. Like, he tells you what he wants, and you have, you know, a couple minutes to figure it out and comply with him. But like, he's not like one of those babies where like he just cries and cries and cries, and you're like, I don't know what's happening, and I want to bang my head against the wall. He's like, no, I want to go home and I want to go to bed, because that's what you taught me is our routine. Like, honestly, having a routine is amazing, but then sometimes it's hard when your baby, like, it's like, okay, sometimes we have to break routine, and he's like, no, we're not going to do that. So yeah, that's going to be a delight when we have to go visit family and stuff. But again, he did super good at Easter, so maybe, I don't know what it is. But yeah, so we took him home, and he went to bed perfectly fine. He slept through the night. He was an angel. Typical boy. Good boy like he is. And then Sunday, we originally had plans to go to see a friend in Sarasota and her mom, because she hasn't met the baby yet, and she's like one of our very best friends. But she had a church thing come up that was running late on Sunday, so she ended up having to cancel with us the day before, which was a bummer, because we were really looking forward to seeing her. But we made new plans to see her the first weekend of May, which is the weekend before Mother's Day. So we are going to still see her and her mom, but it's just going to be 2 weekends from now. And then when the weekend freed up, I was like, hey, do you want to text our friends that we work out with on Fridays to see if they want to hang out on Sunday? Because we had made plans with them a while ago. Sorry, I'm looking for it's right here. Nope, I lied. I was looking for 6. This is 2. Where is 6? You would think because the color is very obvious, I would find it right. Oh, it was hiding under the putty. That makes sense. We had originally made plans with them a while back to watch the whole second season of One Piece because the live action version is on Netflix and it's really good. We all already saw the first season like individually, but when the second season came out, we all had said that we wanted to have like a marathon day and like all watch it together. And so we had made the plan to do that, but then our friend Casey, he got like a double ear infection, so we were like, okay, we're not gonna do that. So we waited, and then when our Sunday freed up, we asked if they were down to watch it together on Sunday, and they said yes. So Casey made these, him and Sarah, his wife, they made these delicious blueberry macarons, and they were so good. And they even did like this cute little design on the top that made it look like One Piece. It was so cool. Or I think it looked like what's it called, like the death fruit or whatever. It was really cool. They made macarons that were delicious. Eric made meatballs, and he made these delicious rice cups. So essentially, like, he cooked rice, then took a muffin tin, put the rice in the muffin tins, and then like created like a little cave or a little like hole in the middle, baked them so the rice became like a crispy cup of rice, and then he marinated bulgogi, which is basically like super thinly sliced beef. He marinated that in soy sauce and then like cooked it on the stove top and then put it in the rice cups and then drizzled like a spicy mayo on top, like a chipotle mayo. Holy cow, I could have eaten that 1,000 times over. It was so good. He of course was judging himself, saying that like he made the rice cups too crunchy, but I thought it was perfect. Like the soft meat with the crunchy rice and then the chipotle mayo on top, and then the meat was seasoned with like just soy sauce and other spices. It was so freaking good. I died for it. So yeah, we had that and macarons, and then later on, because Sarah has a bunch of different like food allergies, but she can eat at Chipotle. We ordered Chipotle for dinner because like the rice cups and the meatballs and all that. That was because we watched the entire second season, so we started around like noon and we watched until like almost midnight. Like we were watching all day, so that was cool. And then I forgot to even say, before they came over, my mom and David, my stepdad, they came over to see Eli and hang out and say hi to us, whatever. Because we won't be seeing them next weekend because they're going to a family friend's wedding, and we were originally invited to that wedding, but obviously like with Eli being so small, we're not ready to put him on a plane just yet, so we unfortunately had to decline the invitation to that wedding, which is so unfortunate because I love weddings and I love dancing and I love being a wedding guest. I really do. It's like so fun for me. But yeah, we couldn't go. And it's in Philadelphia. And Philadelphia this time of year is probably beautiful. Ugh, so bummed. That's okay. Also, fun fact, we'll have to like have my mom on again, like one of the days she comes over. When she goes to Philadelphia, obviously she's going from our family friend's wedding. It's her best friend's son, who I basically grew up with. He's younger. He's like way younger than me. I call him Baby Steven. He's just the cutest guy. He's like a full adult now, but I'll forever call him Baby Steven, and he probably hates that, but I don't care. But yeah, while my mom's in Philadelphia, she a while ago had actually kind of accidentally reconnected with her birth parents. My mom is adopted, and growing up, she knew she was adopted. She never really cared to know who her parents were. Like, she never really like asked her mom and dad, like, who are they? Do we know them? Whatever. She really didn't care. But then I made her do 23andMe one year for Christmas. I bought it for her as a Christmas present. And she had a cousin pop up on her 23andMe. And that cousin was trying to like find all, like, that cousin was the son of her half brother, essentially. And so the cousin was trying to find all of his dad's family, and then found my mom. And then he told my mom about the half brother's mom, which that's who they shared. They shared a mom, and so she found the mom, and then later she found her dad, and it was this whole thing. And so my mom's dad my mom I think found him on Facebook originally, and then she ended up trying to reach out via email, or I don't remember how she originally reached out. I think it was an email, and he responded, and turns out the guy didn't know she existed. It was one of those scenarios where like my mom's birth mother got pregnant after like a one night situation, or like a very short relationship situation, and like just didn't tell him, and like went away and disappeared, and then like had my mom, and then gave her up for adoption, and then lived her life, and then the other guy lived his life. Like the dad has like a wife and kids and like a whole life. It's crazy. It's crazy. I need to get my mom on here so she can tell you the full tea, because she probably, I feel like she would enjoy documenting that story like in one take anyway. I have met my mom's birth mom because she came to Florida to visit like a year or two ago. I think maybe I wasn't pregnant, so it must have been like 2 or 3 years ago. My mom would know. And it's so uncanny like seeing them together, because it's like my grandma passed away. I loved her. I love her. She was amazing. Like her personality, like I love her so much. But like they didn't look alike. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, you could tell like that wasn't her mom, like her birth mom. But like when I saw her birth mom, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's your mom. You know what I mean? And like it was kind of weird because like I don't really consider her like my grandma. Like I don't call her grandma. We don't even really speak. It was just one of those things where like we all felt like we needed to meet, and it was kind of nice because like there was like nobody put any expectations on anybody to like be in our, like we weren't like we need you to be in our lives, and she wasn't like I need you to be in my life. And like it was just one of those things where it was like we met, and that was kind of cool, and that was it. And whatever. And I was like, Mom, if you want to keep communicating with these people, that's fine. Like I obviously support you. That's your family. It's my family too, but like that's your mom and dad. Like I encourage you to get any questions answered that you need while they're still around. Thank God they're both still alive, because her adoptive parents are both passed away. My grandma and grandpa, they're gone. So I was like, do you, girl, like enjoy the experience. So when she's in Philadelphia next weekend, after the wedding is over, but before they fly home, she's going to have dinner with her birth father and his wife. And obviously David will be there too. But yeah, so maybe we'll have to get her on here for the next Whip and Chat for story time. I'm trying to think. I don't know. No, she won't be home yet. She won't be home yet next Sunday, when I would most likely film my Whip and Chat. So maybe in 2 weeks. Maybe in 2 weeks we'll get her on here for story time. Because yeah, fascinating. She'll tell you the whole story again of how she reconnected with them, but like I also am very excited to hear about like how the dinner goes with the dad, because again, like the dad had no idea. So I can only imagine how that's gonna go. Like that was another reason I was super bummed to not go to the wedding, is like I wanted to be a fly on the wall so bad to like I guess meet my grandpa, but like to me that's like a stranger. So like it would just be like meeting a person, like a person that I have no like emotional connection to. I'm not the type of person where just because you hold a title in my life means that I like automatically like I have a base level of respect for all human beings, but like I'm not like, oh my gosh, grandma, grandpa, like I don't know you. Like I have grandparents that were with me my whole life, and I'm not saying that to be mean. Like I'm not saying like how dare you give my mom up for adoption, like I hate you. Like that's not it. But also like I'm not gonna be like crying. You know what I mean? It's the Aries in me. My mom is the crier. My mom is a Cancer, and so is David. So the two of them together, it's like toxic emotionalness. Like it's crazy. Like they like trigger each other, and then I'm over here like, guys, why are we crying? Meanwhile, now that I've had a son, I cry all the time, and I hate that. Like I am not normally like a super emotional person like that, but now like literally if anything reminds me of Eli, I cry. I bust into tears like sobbing, and I'm like, this is not who I am. Like clearly I have not gotten over my like hormones of childbirth, because holy cow, all I do is like cry happy sad tears all the time. But like over stuff like that, like meeting somebody who is supposedly like a long lost family member, I'm not gonna cry about that. Just you're not gonna make me have feelings about that. But I think it's fascinating. Like, I'm more intrigued by the relationship than wanting to, like, I'm not reaching out to be like, let's grab coffee. Do you know what I mean? Well, also, the grandmother lives in California and the grandfather lives, or I guess, my grandmother and grandfather, whatever. Her mom is in California and her dad is in Philadelphia. So it's not like we're going to bump into them anytime soon. But what was crazy, the crazy part about the story, though, is that the cousin that found my mom through 23andMe, his dad lives on the east coast of Florida. And his job is like, he's like a pirate. Like how they do those like pirate cruises or whatever? Like, that's his job. He's like a pirate captain for one of those like touristy pirate cruise things. So I was like, that honestly checks out in my family so much. Like David is convinced he's a pirate, and you're telling me that my uncle essentially is also a pirate. I'm like, that checks out 100%. But anywho, we got to meet him too, actually, when my mom's mom came to visit Florida. He came too from the East Coast. We all met up in Orlando, and it was interesting to meet him as well. Yeah, it was all very interesting. Again, I got to get my mom on here to talk more about it, because she has feelings about the scenario, whereas I am void of feelings about the scenario, because in my mind, I'm like, these are just people. But for her, she's just a little bit more emotional about it. So I'm sure she would tell the tale. And it's like hot tea. It's like tea that I'm kind of involved in, but also very much not. So I just love to hear all the crazy stories, because like when you hear, again, I'll let her tell it because it's her story to tell. But when you hear the story that her mom told her about how and why she got put up for adoption, and how it's a twisty tale, okay? It is a windy, twisty tale, and fascinating. And who knows what is to truly be believed, if you know what I mean. So anyway, we'll get my mom on here. We'll get her on here and she'll talk about it. But anyway, so this past Sunday, my mom and Dave came over because we're not going to see them because they're going to the wedding and to see her dad. So they came over to see Eli. They hung out for a couple hours. They left. Then our friends came over. We watched One Piece season 2 all day long, and ate really delicious food. And that's why I wasn't able to film this whip and chat on Sunday, because last week I was so proud of myself. I was like, guys, I filmed my whip and chat on Sunday. It was Sunday night, but it was still Sunday. Well, here I am Tuesday at 10 o'clock at night. And I will be editing this at 5 o'clock in the morning. No, 6 o'clock, because Eli sleeps through the night now. So at 6 a.m. I'll wake up, give him his morning bottle, put him back down, come in here, pump and edit for it to be posted that day. And then I'll probably go back down for a nap. But yeah, that's the beauty of not working right now, is I can make crazy decisions like that. But anywho, so that was my week. I don't really think I did anything super exciting yesterday. Oh, I was going to tell you why Eli threw up today. So today is Tuesday, April 21st. And so Eli gets a bottle at 6 a.m. He sleeps through the night. So right now it's 10 o'clock at night. In an hour and a half, I will wake him up, give him a 4-ounce bottle, change his diaper, do the whole thing, put him immediately back down to sleep, and he will go back to sleep, and he will sleep till 6 a.m. I will wake him up at 6 a.m. Sometimes it's 5:30, which is fine because Eric gets up for work at 5:30. So if he wakes up 30 minutes early, it's really no skin off our back. We like it when he sleeps till 6 because that means I get to sleep in a little bit longer. But when I go back to work, I'm probably going to have to wake up at 5:30 myself also, so I can pump before my mom comes over to make the transition. So it is what it is. But he sleeps through the night. So he wakes up at 6. We give him a 4-ounce bottle at 6 a.m. and then put him right back down again to sleep from 6 to 9. And he does it. He goes right back to sleep. like I was saying about like what I was saying earlier in the video, where it's like he doesn't expel any energy from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. because he gets a bottle and goes right back to sleep. His 9 a.m. bottle, he doesn't take it very well. So, sometimes he takes it well, but sometimes he like drinks it super slow or starts to reject it. And so, obviously we're just figuring it out. Trial and error. Every day looks different. He's growing up, right? Like every month he's asking for things to go differently. And right when you think you get a routine and a schedule, it changes, which we've heard and we anticipated that. But now that it's actually happening, we've realized we need to pay closer attention because he will tell us what he wants, and not to force our routine onto him, but let him tell us what his routine needs to be. And so this morning, 6 a.m. he woke up, he took his 6 a.m. bottle like a champ, went right back down like he always does. 8:30 rolls around, I tell Eric, I'm like, hey, can you throw his bottle on the warmer? I'm going to go upstairs and like change him and get him into daytime clothes and bring him down for his morning bottle, and then we'll play for an hour, which is our normal routine. He goes, sure. Thankfully, I had not changed into my outfit for the day yet because I changed his diaper, I woke him up, whatever. I put him in daytime clothes, we brought him downstairs, and I gave him his bottle, and this is what was crazy about this time. So I go to give him his bottle, I'm sitting him up in my arms. He likes to eat sitting like straight up and down. Like he doesn't want to be leaning back until like the very last sip of the bottle. He needs to be sitting like straight up to drink his bottle. And when you feed him his bottle, it needs to be like parallel to his nose, like a straight line. So it's kind of like he's self-pacing his feed. But I like no sooner than I stuck the nipple of the bottle into his mouth, he threw up. I'm like, what is going? And Eric was like already working. It was like 9 o'clock in the morning at this point, so he had already been working for an hour, and he's sitting right there at the dining room table, and he was like, what happened? And like, again, Eli threw up all over my lap onto the floor. Again, luckily, this is why we're happy we have tile floors, and this is why we didn't throw away, but we got rid of our all of our fabric furniture. Our furniture is now all completely wipeable, like leather, pleather, whatever. Like, it's perfect for having a baby because, like, he threw up and it was so easy to clean up. We obviously had to clean him up, but, like, and I had to go. I was so annoyed, too, because when we put him back down at 6 a.m., I took a shower. I took a bath. I was like, Eric, I feel disgusting. I haven't taken, like, a full body shower since Friday. I need to, like, take a bath. He's like, enjoy yourself. Whatever. I'll be down here. He's sleeping, you do you. So I literally took like this long, luxurious bath this morning and then immediately got thrown up on. I was like, #mom life. I love him though. He could throw up on me a million times and I wouldn't care. I don't want him to, because I don't want him to be sick, but there's nothing he could do that could make me not be obsessed with him. So anyway, I pass him over to Eric. I stand up. He had passed me some paper towels. I wiped down my legs so I wasn't like dripping. And I was like, okay, so I like cleaned up the floor, wiped down the little chair that I was sitting on. And I was like, so and that's when it dawned on me. I was like, I don't think, because this isn't like the first time he's ever struggled with that 9 a.m. bottle. He struggles with it quite often, but he does end up drinking it, so we just kept giving it to him. But I was like, I think because he's not really expelling any energy between the 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. bottle, he didn't even waste any of his milk from his 9 a.m. bottle today. He literally, the bottle entered his mouth, and then he immediately spit up. It wasn't as much as it was the Friday night time that I was telling you guys about. It was like not even half that. But I was like, I think what he spit up was the remainder of the 6 a.m. bottle that was still in his stomach because he hadn't digested it yet. He literally got the bottle, got burped, laid back down, and like went to sleep. So he hasn't really expelled any energy. And when we wake him up at 9 a.m., he is happy as a clam. It's not like he's fussy and crying and asking for a bottle. And I was like, I think we just need to wait until he asks for things sometimes, because it's pretty obvious when he wants a bottle. Like, you can pretty easily tell when it's like a hungry fuss versus like a tired fuss or overstimulation or whatever. So Eric was like, yeah, I agree. So yet again, we're going to try something new tomorrow on Wednesday, on his 3-month birthday. Basically, we're going to give him his 6 a.m. bottle because he always takes that like a champ because he hasn't eaten since midnight. So he's hungry for that 6 a.m. bottle because he hasn't eaten in 6 hours. But then tomorrow, I'm going to give him the 6 a.m. bottle, and then I'm going to not give him the 9 a.m. bottle until either A, he asks me for it, or B, it's time for his noon bottle. And his noon bottle, we typically will give it to him as early as 11:30. So if he asks for that bottle, like, he'll have done another 6-hour stretch, so we will absolutely be giving him the noon bottle. But he'll be hungry for it then because he will have woken up at 8:30 to 9 o'clock, come downstairs, played on an empty belly. Like, well, there might be a little bit left of the 6 a.m. bottle, but like, he'll work it out because we'll play with him. He'll probably go down for another nap, and then whenever he wakes up from that nap, we will give him his next bottle, which again is probably going to be around like 11:30 to 12 o'clock. And we'll just see how that goes. I never want him to be hungry. Like, I don't want him to be like, they're not feeding me, but I also don't want him to feel overfed or oversatiated and throw up because that just feels insane to me. Like, I don't ever want him to feel like we're force feeding him. And he is a big boy. He's not gaining weight. He's a super healthy weight. He's like just over 16 pounds already, which is insane to me considering he's just turning 3 months tomorrow. But his doctors say like he's a big boy, but he's not like unhealthily big. But I also feel like he was probably going through a big growth spurt or something, and so now he's finally slowing down to the point where like he might other babies might catch up to where he's at, like on the charts and stuff. Like, he just had a big growth spurt early possibly, and like now he's gonna slow down a little bit, which is fine by me because he's such a big boy. I'm like, can you please slow down? I'm trying to enjoy you being small, and you're not being small. You're being a big boy. He's so cute. I take so many pictures of him every day, like, because he's so smiley and happy in the morning. Usually after I give him a bottle, or now I won't, but I'll play with him for like an hour, and he's so smiley and laughy and whatever. And so I'll take a bunch of pictures of him like between like 9 a.m. and like 9:45, and those are the pictures that I send to all the grandparents, and they're just like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. And that's when they're like, when are we gonna come up and visit? I'm like, I don't know, you tell me. I'm here. This is what I do all day, so you can come visit me anytime. Like, you're never gonna catch me being the one that says like, no, don't come. Do you know what I mean? I think the next time we're gonna see, well, for sure we're gonna see Eric's dad and stepmom this Friday because they're coming up just for like a quick little day visit. They might even come Thursday because Thursday is the NFL draft, the first day of the draft. And so when Eric's dad heard that I was probably going to have it on, and he knows I have a big TV downstairs, he was like, oh, maybe we'll come up a day early. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to say no, like, if you want to come watch the draft. And it's funny because I was watching Natalie from Diet Coke and Diamonds vlog the other day, and she had mentioned that she made pigs in a blanket for dinner. And then so I've been now craving pigs in a blanket, but I wanted a good reason to make them. And I was like, the NFL draft is a perfect reason to make pigs in a blanket. So I'm making pigs in a blanket on Thursday for part of the dinner, because I've been craving them ever since Natalie mentioned them in her vlog. So shout out to you, Natalie. Yeah, so they're going to come Thursday, and then they're probably going to come back up on Friday just to hang out with him and see him, because Friday Eric will be working from home, so it'll be nice that like he's working but also like in the house, so we can all like be together. And then yeah, that's like the most exciting thing happening this week, because my mom leaves on Friday for her trip, so I won't see her until the Thursday afterwards. And Saturday night I'll probably hang out with our friends again, probably go to dinner, and then Sunday I'm home. We're not doing anything on Sunday because it's the last Sunday of April, so I'm gonna end up going live with my channel members, my Inner Circle channel members. So if that's you, I haven't scheduled yet. Hopefully by the time you're seeing this, you already got the notification that I scheduled the live. I've just been, I'll tell you in a minute what's been going on, but I've been mentally busy thinking about a lot of things, and so I forgot to schedule it. But it is happening. It is happening. But I have to schedule it. And it actually works out perfect with Eli's new bedtime schedule, because if Eli goes to sleep at like 8:30, my live with my inner circle members is always from 9 to 11, which is perfect because I pump at 11, so I can sign off, pump, still to Eli's midnight bottle. It really just works out. It works out. And because Eli's sleeping and we have the baby monitor, Eric can join us again. Because for the last couple, we've only had one live since us coming back to YouTube after Eli being born. Eric was not able to really join us in the first one because he was watching Eli while I was on the live. But now that Eli's bedtime is like 8:30, Eric can like come back into the live with us and maybe build some Lego or something while we all hang out together, which is so exciting because I miss doing content with him. I really do. Like the first couple of months of Eli being around, it was kind of like sad because like we basically had to switch off. Like if I'm filming, he's watching the baby. If Eric's doing something for himself, I'm watching the baby. And so like we didn't get to do a lot of things together. But now that Eli's schedule is kind of becoming more in picture, we are making plans to do more things together. Like he and I sat down and like had a conversation about what we ideally want it to look like when I go back to work, and like how kind of the schedule changing will be. And I told him, I was like, I really want to prioritize us, like our marriage, our relationship, and I want to make sure we're carving out time to spend time with each other. I want to make sure that we're also prioritizing our family and that the three of us are getting to spend time together. But also, like, I don't want us to lose the things that bring us joy. Like, I don't want you to not work out. I don't want to stop diamond painting. Like, those are priorities for me. And also, I really want to go back to the gym. Like, I stopped going towards the end of the pregnancy. Like, the last probably, like, month, I stopped going. And then, obviously, after my surgery, I didn't go for, like, a long time. And I haven't really worked out since Eli was born. And I... Obviously, carrying around a 16-pound baby isn't not working out, but it's also, like, I just miss going to the gym and being with my friends there and working out with Eric. It was just like another way for us to bond and have time together outside of like being parents and running around. So after Mother's Day, because my mom is going to be at my house like all the time with Eli, watching him during the work week, what we're going to do is on Fridays, usually if all the stars align, normally on a Friday, Eric and I will both be working from home that day. We'll both be working, but we'll be working from home. So mom will still have to come over to watch him, but we're going to move the car seat base that's currently in Eric's car that never gets used. We're going to move it into my mom's car. And what will happen is when Eric gets off of work, because he gets off before I do, when he gets off of work at 4:30, he'll help my mom transition, like, the base will stay in my mom's car. Basically, my mom will go home at 4:30 and take Eli with her. And then Eric and I will have uninterrupted time, basically just him and I. We'll leave to go to the gym we usually meet our friends at the gym at like 8 o'clock on Friday nights. And then, you know, Eli will be with my mom from 4:30 till we finish at the gym. We'll drive to her house on the way home, pick him up, and then bring him home, and by the time we get home he'll be ready to do like his midnight bottle and that whole routine. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And then also Monday is oh, I just saw Eric walk into the bathroom. He must have just finished working out. I was looking at the baby monitor and I was like, why is there a human, like a man in my room? And I was like, oh, it's my husband. What was I just saying? Oh, Mondays. So Mondays is Eric's rest day from the gym, so he doesn't work out at home or at the gym. And normally I would edit my videos on Monday, but my new editing software actually makes editing a lot easier. So as long as I film my Whip and Chats on Sundays consistently, I can edit them on Tuesdays. Like it's not the end of the world. And so essentially like Monday nights, Eric and I are thinking are going to be like our little mini date nights. Not like go out fancy restaurant date nights, but just like him and I picking a movie and watching it together downstairs while Eli's sleeping upstairs, or building a Lego together, or both of us playing on the Switch together, or just watching a show that only we watch when we're together. Like, Monday nights are going to be like our just him and I nights. Like, we're not going to make other plans, we're not going to see other friends, we're just going to like have our time Monday nights together. And I think that that'll be really, really nice. But again, it'll be like with Eli sleeping upstairs, so they're going to be chill. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we have to like get fancy and go out and do some grand gesture date. It's just like we can cook dinner together, we can do whatever, like, but Eli will be put down for bed and we'll do our thing and it'll be good. So yeah, Monday nights and Friday nights are gonna kind of be those like reconnection points, which is, I think, really cool because that like bookends the weekend a little bit, and so it makes it nice like going into the weekend and coming out of the weekend. And then it makes the weekends feel closer, because it's like Mondays normally suck, so if you have like a little date night planned every Monday night, that's like something to look forward to on a Monday. And then Tuesdays, as long as Eric doesn't have to go to court, he is going to be working from home. So Mondays will suck less because we'll have date night. Then Tuesday, he will probably work from home if he can. Thursdays, I typically have the day off, so I'm home with Eli. And then Fridays, he and I work from home together. So I feel like that plan sounds like it's going to be nice. Tuesdays and Wednesdays will be the hardest for me. And for him, Wednesdays and Thursdays are going to be the hardest for him, because those will be the days that like we individually spend the most time away from each other and Eli because of work. So, because again, if his nighttime routine starts at 7:30, if Eric has to stop at Publix or something on the way home, it's like he's going to get home, we're going to shove dinner down our throats and then put our baby to bed. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But thank God for my mom and her willingness to support us and help us while we are working and before he goes to school, because I mean, she'll be probably helping take him to school and stuff too eventually, but like, we know we're asking a lot. It's a lot to ask your mom to take care of your baby for like 4 days a week for almost 12 hours, at least 2 of the days of the week. But she is such a trooper and she's happy to do it, and she's told us that multiple times, and so we're just eternally grateful for her, because I just really never envisioned putting my kid into like a childcare situation. And luckily I didn't have to have that conversation, because she immediately stepped up and was like, nope, I'm doing it. It's going to be great. So she is such a blessing. I don't think I had any other big life updates to share. That was pretty much it. Mother's Day is on the horizon, which I'm so excited about. That's the only other thing I'll briefly mention, but we'll talk about it more as we get closer. I did already tell you guys that Mother's Day weekend is going to be Eli's first pool day, and I am buzzing. I'm so excited about it. I've invited all of the moms, so my mom, my best friend, her mom, Eric's stepmom, and Eric's mom. I've invited everybody to come and do a big pool day with us on the Saturday before Mother's Day, and it's going to be Eli's first time at the pool, and he's been so good during bath time. We've been practicing our floating on our backs, and I've been practicing like splashing water on him, so he's used to like, because you know, we can't control what other kids are doing. It's a public pool, so I just wanted him to get used to like water in his face and splashing and whatever, and he's been doing so good. But I ordered, I'm not going to talk about what specifically I ordered, because my mom absolutely watches these videos. So I ordered some fun Mother's Day goodies for the mamas that are coming to my little pool party, and I'm so excited about it. So yeah, more details to come as we get closer, but that is really all the things that are going on in my life right now, which again, I'm sorry if I'm a little boring. It's just that I'm a new mom and he's pretty much my whole life. So anytime I give a life update, it's pretty much going to be whatever's happening with him at the moment, and whatever travels we're doing with him. So I have 30 minutes left to have this conversation. Holy cow. Okay, because it's 10:27 right now, and I said I was going to try to get off at 11 so I could pump and then do his midnight bottle. So let's see how fast I can have this conversation. There will be a separate video. So just let me preface by saying that. Have any of you guys seen that Shire Shenanigans, Nicole from Shire Shenanigans, has put out a challenge to the diamond painting community. If you choose to participate, kitting up 26 projects, diamond painting projects for 2026. Granted, I say diamond painting projects because that's what I do, but like technically you could do any craft. You could kit up any project from any craft. But the spirit of the challenge is to start 26 craft projects, and in our case, diamond paintings. I'm doing it. I'm doing it! I'm so excited! I can't even tell you. Okay, when I saw that she had, first of all, I watched her video about it, but I already had heard about it from the Discord, the Crafters Den Discord. I'm a part of that Discord, and it's open to the public, so you guys can totally join that Discord channel if you want to. But I saw that they were talking about it in the Discord, and I was like, oh, that is unhinged in like the best way. And let me tell you why. Because you might think to yourselves, Ashley, you have a 3-month-old and you're about to go back to work in a month and you're gonna kit up 26 diamond paintings. Are you mad? The answer is yes, I am mad. Meaning like crazy. But let me explain. Let me explain, okay? So, I am a new mom, and diamond painting is still my, like, favorite craft, right? Still something I love to do, but I have to do it around work, mom, doing other stuff, Eric, whatever. I just told you what I'm hoping my schedule looks like when I start going back to work and stuff. So, my diamond painting time, I am going to carve out time to diamond paint, but it is going to be less free flowing, more scheduled, because I'll have to schedule it to make sure it happens, and just make sure I'm taking that time for self-care and whatever. But the finishes, prior to having Eli, I was pretty hung up on finishes, which, speaking of, I just finished. I can't believe I actually finished this in this video. Who is she? But yeah, I would get really hung up on finishes because I would do these month in review videos, and I was like, I have to have a finish for my month in review. Even if it's a small painting, I just feel weird not showing significant progress and completion of a kit. On top of that, one of the perks of being a member of my channel, whether you're in the second tier or the highest tier, the third tier, is you get to vote on what canvases I kit up. And so I was worried that coming back to YouTube and having to balance all of these responsibilities with Eli and work and everything else, I was like, I don't think I have the physical capacity in me to finish a kit a month to where I'm having my members vote on my next project, because I was like, that's just not realistic with the way my life is going right now. And I don't want to burn out, and I don't want diamond painting to ever feel like a chore, and it currently doesn't, but I never want to get to that place. So I've been racking my brain about what to do and how to approach the craft in a way that feels sustainable, but also fun and fresh, but also not pressuring myself to have finishes and stuff. And this challenge just spoke to me on such a spiritual level, because A, I love to kit up, B, I love variety and I love switching projects, and C, it brings that fun back to I don't know, it felt, when I heard it, I was like, yes, of course I want to kit up 26 things. And so here's the spirit of it, right? Is like, this challenge is not about finishes. Nicole says that in her video. It's not about finishes. It's about just starting projects. And so my thought process was, because my diamond painting time is going to feel a lot more sporadic, I can work on, like, so I'll kit up 26 things. That will also open me up to kit up, because if I do like one to two canvases at a time and just kind of switch back and forth until they finish, and then I kit up the next project, I don't know, I feel like lately I haven't, I mean, granted, this is a new to me shop. I've never worked on Blinkety Bites before. This is a brand new to me shop. So I am still incorporating small shops and shops I've never done before. But when I look at my stash, there are so many shops I haven't even worked on a canvas from yet. And I feel like I might get to like 1 or 2 small shops a year, but if I'm kitting up 26 diamond paintings, you bet your bottom dollar a lot of those are going to be from small shops, in addition to all my diamond art clubs that I'm obsessed with. But I just felt really good about that. And then the way that I would be able to incorporate my members voting is they could vote each month on which WIP I switch to next. So if I have like 26 kitted up projects, like 1 month I'll work on a project, and then the next month I'll switch projects and just keep switching and switching and switching, and then the finishes will happen when they happen. It'll happen naturally eventually. But that's a way to kind of balance all of the things and still allow the people who are supporting my channel a little bit extra with their memberships, that special voting privilege. But then also I'm working on multiple projects, and I'm never getting bored of what I'm working on, because every month I'm changing it up. So I'm just pushing the drills down on this. I thought I saw a popping drill, but I was wrong. And yeah, so I'm really, really excited to participate in this challenge. I don't know if I'm actually going to kit up 26 things. I want to kit up a lot, but I'm kind of taking this challenge as like a reset for how I diamond paint, and I'm going to just keep going. I'm just going to keep doing it that way. So for example, let's say I kit up 26 projects. Once I have a finish, I'm just going to kit up something in its place. I'm going to pick a canvas from my stash and I'm going to kit up in its place. So my goal is to never dwindle my WIPs down. My goal is never to have less than that many projects kitted up. My goal is to maintain always having 20 something projects kitted up at all times. So I'm constantly rotating between a bunch of really fun projects. And I feel like that will be super fun for me. If I hate it and I change my mind, it's my prerogative to do so. But in theory, I'm actually thinking that this is going to like light me up from the inside, because it's just exciting, and it's going to make me not care about finishes anymore. It's going to make me not feel so much pressure about finishes, because I'm actively working on 26 projects. Like, I'm actively working on my stash. You know what I mean? Like, I sometimes feel a little burnt out if like I've only worked on one canvas for over a month. Once I've hit the 1 month mark, I'm like, okay, I need to change it up. But if I'm working on a huge canvas, it's not always possible to change it up after only a month, even if you're only focusing on it, if you don't have a lot of time to diamond paint. So my thought process is work on a canvas for a month and then switch it up, and then just keep switching and switching and switching. And again, eventually you'll get some finishes, because not everything I kit up is going to be big. Some of them will be mini kits or smalls or snacks or whatever, but some of them are going to be big, you know what I mean? So the variety is going to be there. And so like I said, there's going to be a whole video that I make dedicated to this challenge. I'm still trying to decide what my personal number is going to be, because I love the theme of like 26 kits for 2026, but I'm thinking even bigger than just the year of 2026. I'm thinking like this is genuinely how I want to continue my diamond painting journey, is to just always have this many projects kind of kitted up and worked on, which I feel bad. I have to go watch the video because I haven't watched it yet, but I heard through the grapevine that like Lindsay from Emeralds and Fairy Lights has like 60 WIPs or something like that. Like, what a queen. Okay, that's amazing. Like the fact that she just constantly has that many projects like in process, that is the energy that I also feel like I would very much enjoy, because the variety is there and you're just gonna get to them whenever you get to them, and you're gonna work on them for a while. At first I was thinking maybe I'll switch projects every time I finish a row, but a row looks so different from project to project, and so I just think I would feel more satisfied by like working on one project a month and then switching projects, because again, either A, I finish the project in the month, or B, I just switch to the next project. Currently I have this as a WIP. Well, not this particular one, but I have the Blinkety Bites 99 tour, Bling 99 tour as a WIP, and I have Star Spirit by Jamaica Murphy from Diamond Art Club as a WIP. I may be overly confident, but I feel like for sure the Jamushka canvas is going to get finished like tomorrow. I pretty much know that to be true. The Blinkety Bites minis will probably be finished before May, ideally. ideally they're finished before May, because I'm doing about one a day, sometimes one every 2 days, depending on like, because sometimes when I'm pumping, I'm on my computer researching stuff and I'm not actually working on this. But when I'm working on, if I work on this for both of my morning and night pumps, I finish one in that time. So I think this will be done before May comes. So then at that point, the only thing that I have still like already kitted up is I have my mother and child canvas, which is the mermaid and her son by Rosie Scribbles. I absolutely have to do that canvas because I want that up in Eli's room before we take his 6-month photos in July. So I have 3 months to work on that canvas, so I'm a little less worried about that. It is a big square project, but like I can try to like hyper focus on it a little bit just because that has like a purpose. But like then Marie Christmas I also have kitted up, and that only has like 2 rows left of it. But since I've been getting a lot better about working on canvases downstairs while I'm watching Eli throughout the day and playing with him and stuff, I'm probably, once I finish up the Jamushka canvas, I'm going to bring down Marie Christmas to try to knock that out, so that way I have no 2024 projects still floating. The Rosie Scribbles canvas has no drills down on it, so it is genuinely just kitted up. So I'm going to count that as one of my rotating WIPs because it's kitted up and it's just sitting there. This will be done. I also will be kitting up the 3 mini dazzles that will complete my mini DP Madness bracket challenge that I had set out for myself, because my cat Kovu chose chaos and he said you're going to finish 3 different bracket sets kind of deal. So he wanted me to do the Chinese Zodiac and the Lunar New Year canvases. So I've already finished those 2 sets. Blinkety Bites, which was 20 canvases, I'm going to finish this soon-ish. And then I have Food Fight, which is 3 mini sets all related to food themes. I have sweet treats, fruits, and I think like fast food. I think diner food is the other one, something like that. So I also have those to kit up as well. But after that, sky's the limit. I have like 300 diamond paintings in my stash to play with. Now, leading into that video, so again, I am going to be filming a whole video dedicated to like picking what my WIPs are going to be, like what I'm going to kit up and how many. I'm leaning towards 25 just because I like that number better than 26. Oh, also, I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm planning to. So in my live that I did last month with my members, one of my members had mentioned that she had just recently purchased one of those towers that holds the Elizabeth Ward tray systems. And I got a little bit of birthday money. So I've been thinking about buying that. Because if I have 25 WIPs or 26 WIPs or however many I decide to have, I'm going to need more storage because I don't currently have enough storage to carry that many canvases. But I was like, well, I do love the bottle case system. That is my number one love. That is my favorite way to kit up. But they're bulky, right? Like they take up a lot of space. But I was like, if I got the Elizabeth Ward tray holder, I could put those on top of my white thing in the background. Like I can put them up so they're not taking up more floor space. And then I could number each of the rows of the Ward trays. And then I could have like a piece of paper that tells me like which kit is which row. And that would hold 24, because if I got the extra large version, it's 2 towers that hold 12 in each. You could stack them on top of each other and make one tall tower, but I'd probably keep them as 2 separate 12 high towers. And I could have 24 canvases kitted up in the towers. And I do have other storage. Like I have 2 Diamond Art Club storage trays. I have the 420 bottle case, the 120 bottle case, the 60 bottle case, and the 30 bottle case. I have 2 knockoff half-size Elizabeth Ward trays. And I have... I can't be stopped. So again, with using a little bit of my birthday money, I used to have, well, technically I do still have, the Forever Young tray system. You guys know the Forever Young, like where it's like you open the container but it has the lines at the bottom, so it's a tray and a storage container. I have that, but I lent it to my stepdad David because he's currently working on that Star Trek painting, the Enterprise, he is going to be working on that whip for the rest of his life. I'm fully convinced. He enjoys diamond painting, but he just doesn't have a lot. He works like every day, so he doesn't have a lot of free time to just diamond paint. But I've essentially wrote that off in my mind that I've given him that storage system. Like, I'm just like, it's yours, dude. It's fine. But now I don't have a tray kit up system. And like, I could use a bunch of Diamond Art Club trays because I do have some of like the fun colored ones. And maybe I'll do that for like a mini project. But Trabrix sent me and the other hostesses for Mini DP Madness a set of 10 of their trays, and they're kind of the bomb.com, but on their website, when I went to go look on their website, they had these beautiful blue ones called Nami. I don't know, let me know in the comments if any of you guys have these. They're called Nami. That's like the collab name, I guess. I don't know if that's a person or what, but Nami, Nami. They are these beautiful, glittery, ocean blue Trabrix. So I bought like 60 of them with birthday money. But like, I bought like 3 packs of 20 or something like that. Or I forgot how it broke down. But essentially, I got enough where did I get like 100? I don't remember. I blacked out. I truly blacked out. They had a deal happening on their website where it was like, every item that you add to your cart, you get another percentage off, and like eventually you got like a free thing. So I think I got like $50 off my purchase at the end of the day. I think it was 100, because I was thinking to myself, like, there's no point in getting any kind of kit up system that will hold less than approximately 60 to 100 colors, because a lot of my Diamond Art Clubs are high color count because I love colorful canvases. So I wanted all of my kit up systems to be available for that type of variety in color count, whatever. So I think, I could be totally wrong. We'll find out. We're gonna unbox it together when it gets here. But I ordered like, I think like 100 of the large Trabrix beautiful blue Nami trays. So that'll be a kit up system that I have that will stay here. It'll just be like something pretty in the background, but I'll also use it for as one of my projects. Kitted up in that. And then I have all of those bottle cases. I'm not ordering any more bottle cases because they're very, again, they are my favorite, but they're bulky, and I don't want to have like 26 cases of whips. Do you know what I mean? Like, that feels crazy to me. So I'm leaning in on the Elizabeth Ward because I do enjoy the Elizabeth Ward trays. They're super versatile, and you can have lots of different sizes of containers. So with the tray tower, I also ordered 8 Elizabeth Ward trays because they were discounted on Amazon recently, and I paid less per tray than I would have if I would have just bought like a one-off Elizabeth Ward tray. So I'm gonna start with 8, which is really 10 because I already own 2 myself. Like, I already have 2, so I'll have 10 Elizabeth Ward trays total, plus all of my bottle cases, plus the Trabrix that are coming. So we'll see how much I can potentially kit up in just that. But I'm going to make a separate video where I go through the planning of it all. Like, I'm going to pick which kits I'm going to kit up. I'm going to figure out what number I feel good about. It could be 15. I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm almost tempted to let the number be 12 because there's 12 months in a year. But I also feel like last year, I think I finished like 20 something diamond paintings. But granted, I have a kid now, so I really shouldn't base what I think I'm going to do now versus what I did before a child. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. The number is 1000% going to be higher than 10. That I can tell you. Whether the number is 12, 20, 25. I want it to be a big number. I'm leaning towards 25. But if 25 feels crazy, I can always back it down later on as I finish canvases. I can be like, okay, this feels like a lot. I need to keep backing it down until I get to a certain number. I also could do it where, and again, this is me just like thinking out loud with you guys. I could also do it where like I have a certain number of each size point, because I break up, like in my spreadsheet, I have size based on inches and centimeters of the canvas. So I could be like, okay, I'll always have 5 minis kitted up, 5 snack size, 5 medium, small, large, extra large, whatever. Like maybe I could do it that way. That might be an option. Or maybe like 1 XL, 5 large, and then like that. I don't know. I have to think about it. But that's an idea. I'm also considering changing my size guide because my size guide is currently tied to like centimeters and inches of a canvas. But I think I might change that because I do a lot of round and square drill projects. I might change that to where it's not tied to inches of the canvas, but it's tied to drill count, because round drill canvases can be physically large, but they have less drills than a square project of the same size. So like if you're doing a square drill project that's a 50 by 70, you might have 80,000 drills on that canvas, whereas a round project you might have 50,000 drills on that project. So, but if they're the same physical size in centimeters and inches, you might consider both of those a large project, but you would probably finish the round one a lot faster than you finished the square, depending on how you diamond paint. So that's what I'm saying. Like let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that. Do you like it? Do you like the size, like small, medium, large, snack, mini, whatever? Do you like that being tied to inches and centimeters, or do you like the idea of potentially switching it over to being tied to drill count? Because I'm debating on that right now. I might switch how I categorize canvases based on drill count instead of size. But then again, not every company tells you the drill count, so that would get a little messy if there were some small shops that didn't give you that info. But I feel like a lot more people are doing that now, and I could probably reach out to any company and ask them. So we'll see. But anyway, those are all the thoughts that I have. So 26 for 2026. The challenge from Shire Shenanigans, Nicole, I am so in, and I am so excited that I'm already ordering things to kit up all of the projects that my heart desires. And it's also going to make me happy because it's going to eliminate 26 canvases from my storage shelf. And looking at 26 canvases coming off of that shelf is going to bring me deep joy. Also, another video that I have to film in preparation for that video is an unboxing. So behind me, I don't know if you guys can see, I have a ton of kits that I have not unboxed on the channel yet that I have been meaning to, but between getting sneak peeks from Diamond Art Club, working with some other companies, I just haven't had a chance to just sit and film a large unboxing of a bunch of canvases like that. But I need to, because some of those canvases might be canvases I want to add into my 26 for 2026, whatever, the challenge. I might want to include some of those in the challenge. So, with that being said, I'm going to try to do my best to film an unceremonious unboxing of those canvases this week and get that up for you guys. If I can manage that, then hopefully next week I can film my video kind of talking about what my choices were, how many canvases I'm going to do, and I will have already ordered all of my storage containers that I need for whatever that number is going to be. And then I can actually start kitting up those projects in the month of May. Yeah. So that's my plan. It's going to be fun. It's going to be chaotic and fun, and I am so excited. Nicole, this was an excellent idea. I'm going to tag her channel below and her video announcing this challenge. So if you guys want to participate in the challenge as well, please go watch Nicole's video. This was 1000% her brainchild, and she deserves all the chaotic credit for this. I am so excited to participate. So before we go to question of the day, I wanted to, again, show you that I finished this, which is so exciting. This one, actually, because I single placed it, the gapping doesn't look that bad at all. You can see it like a little bit, but it's not that terrible. But again, I'm going to roll it. So I just gently go like this. I do this with my big canvases, but mostly my minis is what I do this for. And I just gently kind of roll it. Again, this is not a perfect square rectangle diamond painting. This is a partial. But you just got to do it really slow. And all it's doing is just shoving the diamonds next to each other, so it eliminates that small gap. Obviously, you can do only what you can do with placing. You can only do the best you can. Now, so I did it left to right. Now I'm going to go top down. I'm going to go like this. So it's like up and down. You place as best as you can, but there's always going to be a little bit of gapping to give the drills room to breathe so they're not popping off your canvas. I just think doing this just gives the canvas a cleaner finished look. And I just kind of do a little wiggle, and I just do a little wiggle, and this is just pushing the drills towards each other. The way I figured this out, I didn't really see anyone doing this. The reason why I decided to do this was because whenever you store diamond paintings, they typically recommend that you store them with drills facing outward, because then the drills are pushing away from each other, not inwards on each other. And if you roll a canvas too tight this way, the drills will pop off because they're pushing up against each other. But with the drills pushing up against each other, I feel like that helps with making the drills not have gapping. So now that I've done that for a little bit, take a look. I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but I feel like the drills look much closer together, and I'm seeing virtually no gapping now. There's a couple drills that might look a little bit crooked, but I'm not a perfect placer. It is what it is. But I just feel like that looks really good now and very even and uniformed. Yeah, so that is the roller skate. By the way, my plan, because again, I'm going to finish my commitment to Mini DP Madness and doing all of the sets that Kovu decided I had to do. Kovu's my cat, by the way, if you're new here. What my plan is to finish all of the canvases that I said I was going to finish. Then I'm going to write all of their names down. Each individual canvas, they all have names. I'm going to write them all down on a piece of paper, individual pieces of paper, fold them up, put them in a jar of some sort, and then I'm going to pull 2 out of the hat, and then that is how I'm going to pair up all of the battles, and then I'm going to pick winners that way to fill out my bracket. So essentially, the bracket is going to be post-finish chaos as well, because I'm finishing all my canvases and then letting fate decide which ones are being paired up against each other, and then I'll be looking at both finishes right there in front of me and deciding which one wins, and then continue to move them forward in that order. So that's the plan. Anyways, let's do question of the day, and then I have to go because I only have 6 minutes until my alarm is going to go off that I have to pump. So let's do it. 995. That is the DMC I saw on the bag in front of me. By the way, if you're new here and you're like, what is question of the day? I found this 2,000 Questions About Me book at a Walmart for $5. And when I first started my channel and I started doing whip and chats and I was kind of nervous and didn't really know what to talk about, I thought it would be fun to all of us pick a question of the day and answer it together, and it just starts like a fun conversation about something random, and it helps us get to know each other better too. You guys absolutely do not feel pressure to answer these questions, but if you feel like you want to answer the questions, you can answer them in the chat or in the comment section, but I'm going to answer it live here. So 995, what is harmonious in your life? Oh, what a great question. What is harmonious? My marriage, for sure. I know that's so cheeseball, but sue me. That's my answer. What is harmonious in your life? My marriage is harmonious. Am I tired? Yeah. Am I a new mom and still figuring it out? Yeah. But I have the best partner in the whole world. Like, Eric and I are so in sync with each other, and like we both just get each other, and we can see when the other one is struggling and when the other one needs like a pick-me-up or a break or encouragement. Like, this is this is a little TMI, but I'm gonna share it because we're friends. So I am not someone, I mean, you probably know this about me already. I mean, I'm not a fashionista, okay? I'm just not. I like to get dressed up on occasion, but like on the regular, I am not. I'm a whatever person. So I have owned the same multiple pairs of underwear for years. Okay. I wash them, obviously, but like, I'm not someone who like goes out and buys new bras and underwears all the time. I just don't do that. And so Eric had been bothering me about it. Like, it's kind of like an inside joke between us, because I always tell him he needs to buy new socks because he wears like holy socks. And then he always yells at me that I need to buy new like underwears and bras and stuff because like I've worn the same ones like our entire relationship. So we always throw it at each other as like a joke. Like, I'll be like, you need new socks. He's like, and you need new underwear. And then we just do that all the time. Well, he literally went on to this website called MeUndies, which I'm a big fan of. If you guys don't know what MeUndies is, it's just basically an underwear company. They sell bras, underwears, even some pajamas and bathing suits stuff too. But like, usually every year on Valentine's Day, I always buy us a matching pair of MeUndies because it's just like a cute thing that we do every Valentine's Day. It's like our little thing. But he went onto their website and bought me like 13 pairs of underwear and was like, here, he just did it. It showed up one day at the house. He's like, hey, you've been working really hard and doing great with Eli, and I just felt like you needed like a little refresh. So like, here's like 13 just like new basics that you need, like basic underwears and stuff. Like nothing, like again, nothing crazy. I mean, they all had really fun prints on them. Like one of them has ramen noodles and another one has what was it? It was jellyfish. Another one had like slices of pizza. They're like fun. They're fun underwear. But they're brand new and they're like that really soft modal fabric. They're like really fancy. And they're not the cheapest either, which is why I kept saying like, I don't need new underwear. My underwear is fine. Because it's like, I don't like wasting money, quote unquote, wasting money, but self-care is important. So yeah, he literally just like bought me underwear. He's like, yeah, I just bought you a ton of underwear so you can throw away a bunch of your old underwear and now you have new underwear. And I was like, thank you. Thank you. So yeah. What is harmonious in my life? My family. Him and I and our son. We are harmonious. So let me know in the comments what is harmonious in your life. Is it diamond painting? Is it a family friend or your spouse? Or is it your animals? I'm harmonious with my animals as well. We are one for sure. But let me know if you feel comfortable in the comments. What is harmonious in your life? Do you have a great work-life balance? Do you love your job? Do you play a sport? You know, what is it? What is it in your life that you feel is harmonious and brings you peace and harmony and centers you when you need it the most? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I had so much fun catching up with you as always in this whip and chat. Hopefully the next video you see from me is going to be an unboxing of all of those canvases. Guys, I'm not kidding. There's probably close to 30, if not more, canvases over there. Some are big, some are small. If I do get to it this week, I'm not kidding. It is going to be very unceremonious. I'm probably going to be sitting on the floor, opening boxes, flashing you the canvas, looking for treasure quest cards, and then deciding if it's going to go in my 26 for 2026 challenge or not. So we can talk about that during that video as well. But I'm going to do my best to film that this week for you. So let me know in the comments. Some of you guys know what's in my stash. Let me know if you have any favorites in my stash that you would love to see me work on in my big kit up. And let me know if you're participating too. If you are participating in the 26 for 2026, put that in the comments below as well. Thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!